Today we're building the ultimate overplanted 5-gallon shrimp tank from scratch. I'll walk you through the whole build, featuring some unexpected new arrivals, a vast variety of shrimp. We also find some detritus worms, deal with the ring of death, and even end up with some shrimp babies before everyone's worst fear happens, a crack in the tank. Welcome to GH Aqua. Basically what happened was I got a tank. I have a 30-gallon tank, which I will show you. And I got a bunch of different random fish and plants from different places. And one of the fish ended up having ick. Long story short, I had to get a secondary tank because I have shrimp and I have snails. And if you add this ick medicine, if you will, they don't do very well with it. So So I got the babies a second tank because, as you guys will learn, I love my snails. I have my little Roombas. There's a white Roomba and a red Roomba. I have Mrs. Snails, so she's a little rabbit snail. There's a bunch of the ramhorn snails, which have multiplied, but I just love them. So yeah, and then I have, a couple shrimp. There's big yellows, big reds. There's one little blue one. I had these little striped fish before, but they ate a couple of my shrimp. So yeah, that did happen. So I ended up actually going to PetSmart and got myself a little 10-gallon tank. Sorry, it's not a 10-gallon, it's a 5-gallon. Oopsie. This tank actually includes, and I'll write it out for you guys, but it comes with the 5-gallon glass aquarium, the hood with a feeding door, and everything else that you see on the screen. So yeah, check that out. I grabbed my substrate and I threw it into a bowl and I filled it with some chlorinated water and I gave it a little rinse. And yeah, now we're just gonna throw it into the aquarium here. While I add my soil, I just wanted to say a special thank you to everyone who has liked, shared, and subscribed so far. The outpouring of positive feedback has truly meant the world to me. Anyway, enough with the mushiness. We have a shrimp tank to get back to. So what we're trying to do is we're trying to build up the back. So basically it just kind of gives it a 3D illusion of there being a little bit more depth. As you can tell here, I banked it about 2.5 inches or around 6-7 centimeters in the back. And it slopes down to about 1/2 inch or just under 2 centimeters in the front. I found some rocks by my local river for my hardscape, but I needed to boil them first. Gosh only knows what was living in them, and I wanted to keep my little critters safe. So after messing around with the rocks, this is kind of what I came up with. So I got a couple plants here. I got a Brachia monosolium, Area Cullen. These are fantastic names, by the way. And I don't know, Microthemum. And then I got a couple little plants in here too from another store. So cute. It's gonna look so nice in there. You want to kind of find the edge here and you kind of, I learned you kind of open it up this way. One of the things that I like to do when doing a new aquascape is I like to place my plants in after I add my substrate and hardscape. It helps to give me a better visual of where I want to plant things, and it's much easier to move things around before than it is after the plants are already in the soil, sand, or gravel. So I got one of these guys in. I made one crucial mistake here by not wrapping the plant roots with a paper towel or cotton pad before attaching it to the weight. It actually caused a lot of my plants to mold, and it was a great learning lesson of what not to do. So unfortunately, when I added the water, it's a little dark. Once the water cleared, I was able to add the red Roombas. The puffers really were kind of giving her a hard time, so I figured the best place for them was in the little shrimp tank. So I don't know what it is about me starting a new tank, but it seems like every time I do, I get new babies. Last time it was endlers. This time I got a little baby rabbit snail. Meet baby snail. So she was born in the big aquarium, and I obviously got very worried for her, so I thought the shrimp tank would be the perfect place for her to grow up. Next, I changed the light at the top of the aquarium to one that I found on Amazon, and it was time to add the shrimp from my big tank to the little shrimp tank that we just built. Got my snazzy bowl here ready for the shrimp. All right, so I got the shrimp. I'm so excited. They look positively adorable. I don't know if you can see those or not. So yeah, let's get them in the bowl. Oh, one of the little guys molted. And just like with everything else, I went super extra with my shrimp, and I got a mix of some beautiful Caridina shrimp. The black and white ones are black and white tiger shrimp. The red striped ones are the red snowflakes. And I also got some orange eye or OE green hulks. And the dark blue with the stripes are black galaxies. And honestly, that was just my first batch. They're so cool. All right, so today's the day we are going to fix this tank up because it looks nice, but I think it can look 10 times better. So what I want to do is this whole area, I have some plants that I got and I want to make this whole area green. I want to move around a couple of these. There's a plant from my other aquarium that I want to put somewhere in here and put these longer ones a little bit closer to the back. It's the perfect time. I got Mrs. Snail right here. You know, I know where she is. And then the most important member, oh, let's focus, is this little guy. And she always goes missing. And it's always really scary for me to, oh, focus. Yeah, it's always just really scary to do anything in the aquarium when I don't know where they are. So yeah, let's get started. Another reason for what I'm about to do is that I noticed these tiny white worms in the soil wiggling around. Yuck, right? So these little white worms in aquarium soil are most commonly harmless detritus worms. They're a natural part of a tank's ecosystem, acting as decomposers that eat waste. An overpopulation is usually caused by overfeeding or a lack of cleaning. And since I was doing regular water changes because the Caridinas are sensitive little shrimp, it was definitely from me overfeeding the tank. Luckily, they're not dangerous to fish, but they can eat baby shrimp. And we can't have that, can we? My little shrimp here is having a real hard time molting. It's barely alive. It's trying really hard. Oh no. Oh, buddy. So I added some calcium. I checked all the water levels. I added a bunch of fresh water to the aquarium that I had already treated. And I'm just trying to keep getting this guy to stand up. Come on, buddy. I ended up trying to help the little shrimp stand up with tweezers, but unfortunately it was to no avail. It was just too weak. The other shrimp started trying to eat him while he was still alive, so I had to act quickly. I grabbed one of my plastic potting plants, I scooped him out and placed him in a glass container of water from the tank. I also added some floating plants so he would feel safe. That it worked. This little shrimp not only survived, but it turns out he was a she, and she thanked me by having shrimp babies. So now that that little side quest is done, we can finally get back to what we were doing, which is trying to take out the plants. So I'm thinking I'm going to start off with the back part and then move our way forward. I raked what I could and I added more topsoil. I got this microthemium. I don't know, it's called Cuba. So as you can tell, I got my little station here. Got my grass, got my plants. So even though the water was still a little bit cloudy, I could already tell I'm gonna need more plants. Back to the fish store. All right, so we got some amazing plants here. I just went to the plant store. We're gonna open them all up. The ones that are in these little cups, we're gonna put them in here and we're gonna wash them out in some pre-dechlorinated water. And these guys are gonna go straight into the aquarium. So let's get into this. So I was thinking, since I already prepared plants once earlier in the video, that I'll just do a quick little fast forward for you and I'll throw the plant names I used on the screen. Here we are, after it's all planted. Go. Got that whole bottom layer here. Hopefully that grows in. Got little baby snail here. You know, it's funny, this part kind of reminds me of the part in the movie where everyone's happy, the song is playing, that's all upbeat, but really there's a looming catastrophe that's right around the corner and something is about to happen. And let's face it, that something is never good, which in this case was my poor little aquarium that I just finished planting. I may or may not have gotten a little bit frustrated with the Rotala not wanting to stay in and it kept floating up, and I may or may not have cracked the glass underneath while I was pushing my tweezers in. So there I was in my pajamas at 11 o'clock at night, trying to drain the water in the tank as quickly and carefully as I could. After all, lives were at stake here. I felt so bad for my little guys for having to go through a midnight move, if you will. And I especially wanted to make sure I didn't lose baby snail in the whole kerfuffle. There she is. Well, that just means all is well. So this is basically Friday night after stabbing the aquarium without having enough foresight, whatever you call it. The aquarium is full-blown leaking. Got rid of most of the water, have all the shrimp and everything in here. There's another bucket here with all the plants. And yeah, just waiting for the rest of this to settle down before facing the consequences of Yeah. A little tip I learned from Fish MD was to bank the soil to one side so the water can pool in one area, making it easier to catch the last little stragglers that don't want to be caught. So off we went, catching every last little shrimp and every last little snail. No one is left behind. So this is the crack that sparked it all when disaster hits. Yeah, so now this is kind of what we're working with. All the plants are in here. This is what happens when you get mad. Join me next time when I finally redo the shrimp's tank. But this time I got a way better tank. It is way bigger, and I definitely add a crap ton of plants to it. So this is the tank in the morning. All the grass seems to be doing pretty good. I still have the lights kind of turned down, and